Hey everybody, it's Liz, the official craft nerd, and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to have 3 different DIYs that you can do that are super easy, super affordable, and they're just adding a little bit of shabby chicness to your home, you know, transitioning out of spring into summer, which we're all excited about. And yeah, so I'm already getting started into this here. These are 2 little terracotta pots. I picked these up in a pack of 3 from Dollar Tree. And now I'm painting it white with, well, not white, plaster. That's my go-to color by Waverly. And now I'm digging through scrap fabrics that I purchased off Etsy. You can actually purchase bags of vintage scrap fabric. And I absolutely love doing it. There's lace, there's trimmings, there's little doilies. I mean, it is so much fun. And especially if this is your style, you just love these little scraps. They're just so much fun to go through. So what I'm doing basically is just taking a piece of this older lace. We're going to wrap it around, just kind of glue it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Don't worry about it not being perfect, y'all. That is not my way of doing things. We just get it on there. Now I do want to quickly talk about this collab that I'm in. This is hosted by DIY from House to Home, and we've also got Crafting, Cove DIY, and 6 Kids and a Glue Gun. Girl, y'all are some incredibly talented ladies, and I'm so excited to be working with you guys in this collaboration. So my friends, if you're watching this, please make sure you're checking out their links as well. I will make sure they're in the description below, and watch all of these ladies' lovely, lovely videos. And if you're coming from their channels, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited to have new nerdy friends here. Yes, this is a nerdy family. We love all things crafting. Really, we love all things shabby chic. That's really my go-to here, you guys. So if you're new, hope you stick around. Hit that like button down below. Of course, hit the subscribe button. Stick around and come and see me. Every time I put a video out, I really try to do one at least once a week. But you know what? Sometimes life gets in the way. So it doesn't always happen. But I definitely would appreciate y'all sticking with me through this wonderfully nerdy, crafty journey. So enough shilling, y'all. Let me get back into this video. As you can tell, we're just going to take another piece of vintage fabric and glue it on there. Now, I'm sure I'm giving people super anxiety by just gluing these pieces on there. And you know what? It is what it is. This is how I get it to stay and to stick, and it's not doing any harm to this. You know, I know this is old fabric. I know that it's super pretty, but it's also a scrap piece. And where else is this going to get used? You know, that's why I love, you know, doing what we do. We can make old things new again. And I really had fun with taking just something as, you know, little terracotta pots, these ugly little terracotta pots, you know, and just throwing a coat of paint on there and adding some, you know, ribbon or lace or whatever completely transforms these little guys. And I am super obsessed with that. So with these 2 pots, I do want to make it so you can hang them. So I just kind of tied a little handle together here, as you can tell, just a piece of scrap fabric, tie a little knot on the ends, and then we're just going to glue it on the sides of these. They're not big, so they're not going to be holding anything like super heavy or super industrial, so don't worry about that at all. You know, honestly, this is just going to hold a little bit of moss and some flowers, and you can hang these up or not. You can actually just set them down on, you know, your table or wherever you decide to use these. But I think that they're just adorable where you have the option to hang them up. You know, here I am adding a little bit of decals here, a little mini doily, a little bead, you know, a little, or pearl, or whatever you want to call it. Y'all, words are hard today. I'm telling you, it's just one of those, it's just been one of those days, you guys. I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm not going to bore you and talk you to death with that kind of stuff. But I do want you to know that I appreciate y'all even sticking around and watching this. You know, it was a struggle to the last minute to get this video out for you this time. So I really hope you guys do enjoy it and appreciate the blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into making this. I'm just joking, y'all. I love you guys regardless. So what you can see me doing here is just shoving a little bit of paper towel. That's just to add some filler. I didn't want to fill this whole thing up with this reindeer moss. Reindeer moss is quite messy, so I just wanted to add a little bit in there. And then I have these little flowers that I picked up from a little store that we have in our town called Daisio. Some of you may or may not have heard of this store. It is just a really cute Japanese dollar store, basically. And they have these really adorable little flowers. I'm just going to trim them up, stick them in there. And literally that's all there is to this project. Again, I didn't hang them up for the final reveal, but do know that you could hang these up very, very nicely and they would look just as cute. Tell me what y'all think about these down in the comments below. So this second project is a super easy, quick flip. So as you can tell, this was just a little framed art piece. Anything you can pick up probably from TJ Maxx or Hobby Lobby, wherever. And I just took out the insides of this and then I'm going to paint it. And you guys, I already know that some of you are going to be thinking, why? This frame is already fairly vintage looking, shabby chic looking already. Why would you want to do that? Because there's no fun in flipping something if you can't throw some paint on it. That's how I look at it. I wanted to paint this, so yes, I'm going to paint it, and yes, I'm going to distress it and make it look old again, but that's just because that's what I want to do. So we're going to do it. I'm taking the back piece here. I just glued that little whiteboard back onto it, and what I wanted to do for this is to showcase some scrap fabrics that I was using previously. Now, because some of this ribbon is so pretty and some of this fabric is so pretty, I just feel like we need to be able to display it. We need to be able to show it off. And what better way than to put it in a picture frame? And this is something I've seen done before. I love doing this because it's a very nice way to memorialize something, or just to be able to showcase something that you think is pretty. What I'm doing here is I'm using that Dixie Belle. This is a brown wax, and basically it's just to add a little bit of vintage grit look to this. You can use Waverly Antique Wax if you'd like. There's many different options out there. I just preferred to use this time around. Easy peasy to wipe on there, and it dries very quick. So as you can tell here, I picked out my two favorite pieces of lace that I wanted to showcase, and we're just going to trim them up so they fit on top of the glass on the inside. All it is, as simple as that, is placing those down, put your back on, and that's it. You can always come back. You can change out the fabrics whenever you want. Very easy. And it does have the little hangers on the back. I decided to add just a little piece of lace or ribbon just to add to the whole look, and that way you can hang this up and have it just on your wall looking as sweet as can be. And there's so many different things that you can do with this, you guys, but I just thought, why not put in something that is so easy that anybody can do, and it's probably with something you already have lying around in your house. So again, let me know what you think about this one down in the comments. Okay guys, last but not least, this is probably my favorite of the three today. I'm going to transform this wooden IKEA hanger into something that I've seen these around. I think they're super adorable, and I had to create one for myself. And really, it's just going to be a sweet hanger that you can basically do whatever you want to it and hang whatever you want on it. But I had to give it a shot. So as you can tell, using my favorite color plaster, really only giving it one coat on the majority of it, and then I did a second coat on the front end. What I wanted to do was add just a sweet vintage picture to the very top portion of that. And I've had these little stamp stickers that I've gotten off Amazon forever and a day ago. Not sure if it's linked in my Amazon store. They might be, but you can always just look them up on Amazon and find them there. They're super adorable, super easy. As you can tell, it's just a sticker. And I'm just going to trim her up and place her right there on the center. Now, I love adding just extra, I don't know how else to say it other than I'm extra. I guess I'm just extra. But I like adding these little decals. And basically 95% of the time, if you've watched my channel before, you know I like to use clay now. I think clay is so much fun to so much fun to create things with these molds. But I initially had started doing these molds with hot glue because it is a much quicker way to get your little designs out. So as you saw there, I was just filling up some, you know, places on that mold of my choice and letting it sit right now to completely dry and harden. While I'm doing that, I'm taking some of these really pretty vintage flower rub-on transfers. Again, I'm trying to remember where I got these. It could have been Amazon, but it quite possibly was Etsy. And I do list all the sellers that I typically purchase off of in my description box. So I couldn't tell you at this point who is what. Because, you know, after so long of having these things, you kind of forget. But they're super pretty, easy to use. I love rub-on transfers, you guys. They're the most easiest things in the world, I swear. Once my hot glue has dried, and you can tell they just instantly pop out, they look great. Glue is super easy to trim up, so that way it looks exactly like you want it to. And then again, I know this sounds funny, but I'm going to add some hot glue to my hot glue and glue it down on to the top of this hanger. And really what it's doing is I'm giving it a little bit of texture, 3D effect, just adding these, you know, details to it. It just does something to a project, and I am so for it. I'm there for it all the time. I love doing it. And I think I may try to do ones with some clay next time, but the great thing about the hot glue is it's a much lighter medium to use than the clay. So depending on what it is that you're working with, the hot glue might be a better option. Now I am going back over this and painting it using the plaster again, and it's just jabbing that brush in there, you guys. Again, really no rhyme or reason, just get it covered, get it painted. Take your time with it too, because the hot glue can be a little deceiving if you can't, because it's very, I mean, it's white, but it's clear, and I don't know how to explain it. Just pay attention so that way you don't miss any areas of that. Once I have it all completely covered up, I mean, and it looks good just like that, I of course am going to add a little bit more depth to it. So I'm taking back out that Dixie Belle, that brown wax, and just with a little paper towel, we're just going to rub it over top. What it's doing is going to help pop out all those little dimensions, all those little details in the decals, and it's really just going to make it pop. And I absolutely love this stuff. It's so easy to use, you guys. I think I like it even more than the antiquing wax by Waverly, just because it's not runny, it's less messy, and it's so easy to use. And again, I'm just going to kind of go over all the edges here, all the corners, the little crooks and everything, just to give it that vintage look that I love so very much. What I'm not really going to show in this video, that I didn't have time to, but I do end up adding some ribbon with some, you know, fabric hearts that I've created on the bottom of this. With these hangers, you can almost do, I mean, there's so many different things you could do. You can add tons and tons of layers of ribbon. All I did was add this ribbon bow at the top of this just to add a little bit more, you know, shabby chicness to it, you know, kind of finish it off. And I didn't get too crazy because I didn't want to cover up, you know, the woman's face on that picture. But the bottom part of where you can hang things, you can go to town. You can add so many different, you can make one of those beautiful shabby chic wall collages with just different things that are vintage and mean something, you know, photos, whatever. You can hang photos from it. So many different ideas. I just didn't have enough time to put it in this video. So hopefully you can see just by the final looks something that you can do with it, and hopefully I will be able to make some more of these again in the future. But again, that was really all there was to this. It was literally just painting a hanger and adding some details to it, as you can see there, and it was so much fun. And I just think it is so super cute. I love this so much, you guys. that is it for this video, you guys. Thank you again for stopping by. My family that always joins me all the time, I love y'all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, to all the newbies, welcome to my channel. I hope you stick around. And again, don't forget, make sure you check out the other ladies' videos down below. And until next time, you guys, stay safe. Love ya.